Now the catch phase of the front crawl stroke is the part of the stroke when your hand first enters the water after the recovery phase, and it's a really crucial part of the stroke. Yeah, it is actually a part of the stroke that so many people either miss out, they slip through, or they just don't execute fully. Now I know personally with my own swimming that if I'm not executing it quite right, my swimming really goes downhill. So I'm continually performing drills to try and emphasize it and improve it, and I thought I'd share my 3 favorite drills for the front crawl catch. Okay, so my first drill is what we call the front scull drill, okay? Now, it doesn't actually look like it resembles anything like front crawl swimming or the front crawl stroke. But the reason for it is to give you that confidence when your hand enters the water, so you really get that purchase on the water. The reason why so many people slip through that first part of the stroke is because they're not confident and they can't grab a hold of the water. So we really want to improve that and emphasize that. So that's where this scull drill comes in, and we're really trying to feel the water. Now we're here feeling for the water all the time, but it is genuinely a thing. We want to really get a purchase of the water here, and that's what that scull drill at the front does. So we want to start with our hands basically shoulder width apart, and we're going to scoop out with our hands to just past our shoulder width, and then coming back in, almost like figure of 8s with our fingertips. Now, if you want, you can pitch your hands ever so slightly down, and that'll help to propel you forward. So we're just making this figure of 8. I like to think of it as if you're splitting a pile of sand in the middle, and then you're bringing that sand back together, okay? Just like that. And if you like, you can pop a pool buoy in just to help keep your legs afloat, so you're not having to worry about trying to keep yourself afloat. Okay, my next one is almost an extension of the scull drill, and it is the doggy paddle drill. It's probably one of my favorites. It allows you to really slow the stroke down, break it down, and analyze it and look at your stroke as you're performing it. So the idea here is we are taking the recovery phase away from the stroke. I'd also recommend popping pool buoy in for this, again, just to keep the legs afloat so you're not having to worry about staying afloat. Okay, so we're literally just performing the underwater part of the stroke. I want you to start with your hands in line with your shoulder. We're going to focus on getting that catch, pulling underneath you all the way through to the back. And whilst you're doing that, you just slide your other hand up underneath the body and catch at the front there, okay? And really slow it down. Look at what you're doing. I tend to keep my head above the water. Some people like to drop their head down into the water. But if you keep your head above the water, you can just breathe as and when you like, and just look at that catch as you're doing it. Try and get the catch as close to the surface of the water as you can, and trying to get that elbow up as if you're trying to put your arm around a barrel, so you're getting a really nice strong position and real good purchase on the water. Okay, and a little Brucey bonus one for you here. I'm not sure what you call this drill because I made it up myself, but it is the doggy paddle drill, but I'm again breaking it down even further. I like to do this just to really emphasize that front catch. So we're just going to do a little doggy paddle drill, so literally just small hand movements, really trying to grab a hold of the water for that initial phase, and then we're going to progress it out, so slightly bigger movements all the way through to a full doggy paddle movement. And then once you're at the full doggy paddle extension, go back to those small doggy paddle movements, okay? So just really trying to get a purchase with the hands at that initial phase. Okay, so my next and my final drill is the water polo drill. Now this is essentially a full stroke freestyle stroke, but with our head up out of the water. Now the reason we do this is because, well, basically you can't do it without a good catch and a good purchase on the water. So by lifting our head up out of the water, we have to push down at the front of the stroke to give ourselves that lift, okay? So we're recovering with a nice high elbow over the water, head up out of the water. You can have your mouth in the water for a lot of this, but every so often you're obviously going to want to lift that out to take a breath. Try and keep a nice flutter kick going throughout, because you're going to need that to stay buoyant. If you like, you can pop some fins on for this one. I'd avoid putting a pool buoy in though, just because of the extreme angle that's going to put your body in. And then just making sure that we're pushing down at the front of that stroke, getting a good purchase, focus on what we just spoke about with the doggy paddle, and with that, getting the arm around the barrel and a nice high elbow. Push down, and that's going to help lift the head up out of the water. Right, so all these drills are obviously overemphasizing certain actions and techniques, but By doing them, they can really help to improve your catch and that feel for the water that we always talk about. I'd often try and pop these into my warm-up and even my warm down. It's often good to finish off your swim with good technique, and that will help you to, again, reinforce that and emphasize it into your next swim session. If you have enjoyed today's video, please do hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more from GTN, just click on the globe and subscribe. And if you'd like to see some more drills videos for front crawl swimming, you can see that by clicking just down here.